Again, we're in workshop number 2, and we're talking about what you wish you'd known before your interview. And this is captures a lot of different information on what to do, what not to do before an interview. Because if you do certain things, there's less likelihood that you're going to be able to get that job. So this is a test of over 2,000 bosses, and what they said were things that were good or they were looking for, or in bad, what they did not want to see. In the first one, you can see right above or to the side of where that clock is, 33%, a third of the 2,000 hiring bosses, hiring managers, were able to make a decision on an individual within 90 seconds. So that isn't a very long time for, it would be just basically first impressions. I've had that happen before. I had an individual, I talked to him on the phone on several, in fact, I asked to interview him and he was not interested. Learned that he'd lost his job and was interested. He was in Cincinnati, Ohio. I still liked what I saw. All the paperwork worked fine. To drive all the way over to Cincinnati, have a sit down with him, and it was a complete disaster. He was just not the candidate I thought that I was going to see. So you never know that. So when somebody's looking at you in person, or either on a Zoom call or whatever it is, just what we're doing now, you need to make sure that you're doing the correct things. So I'm not going over all these. These are things that you can do. There's common nonverbal mistakes that you can make on the job. You can see 21% of the hiring managers were kind of not happy when you were playing with your hair, putting your hands on your face, touching your face. 47% when you didn't have knowledge of the business. There's usually not going to be many excuses as why you didn't know what was going on with this, with the business, what they did, how they did it, and new products, whatever. You need to really know that before you even go into the first telephone conversation, because you remember, it's not about you, it's about them, it's about the employer. Next is the 67%, over 2/3, failure to make eye contact, and this can be a problem for some people. So what we would suggest is that if you can't look at somebody in the eyes, then you focus on something very close to that individual so that they will know or think that you're paying attention to them and looking at their eyes and not up in the ceiling or wherever. On the other side, 38% has to do with confidence. And confidence will have a whole lot. That's why I would suggest as many interviews as you can. Even if they're a mock interview, or even if it isn't a job you really want, in fact you don't want, you need the experience. My thought is, and I've had some good ones, and I've had some really, really bad ones. And when they were really bad ones, is I wasn't really prepared for the interview, and they could tell right away by the questions that they were answering. So you need to have a lot of confidence in in that you're in there, and I'm the person, I'm the man, I'm the woman that you need to hire. But you need to explain that to them through the resume, through your own stories, which we're going to get into in just a second. The last at the very bottom is clothes. 70% and 65%. They say, you don't want to have a real bright tie and colorful. You don't want the light blue suit or anything like that. Nothing fancy or what they call fashionable or trendy. And as far as the bosses said, clothes could be the deciding factor. So you need to go in. We suggest you go in with a dark suit, white or light blue shirt, shiny shoes. I know we had one individual that didn't get the job, and when he asked why, he says, really, because your shoes were not in good shape. You weren't taking care of them, and that was something. So it can get down to that one specific area. So and in regard to clothes, just remember that we can get you into Dress for Success for women and or men's success wear for men, and in each of those cases They will completely put you together with the proper interview attire that you need: shoes, socks, suit, tie, shirt, portfolio, underwear, all the different things that you need. With ladies, a purse that will coordinate that type of thing. So it's critical to be well dressed in almost all situations. Just remember, if you can't do that, and all those services at Dress for Success and Success Wear, those are all free.